بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاعتبروا يا أولي الألباب وقال الله تعالى فاعتبروا يا أولي الأبصار وقال الله تعالى إن في ذلك لآية وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين وإن ربك لهو العزيز الرحيم وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الدين والنصيحة أو كما قال مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My beloved respected listeners in Islam, I think I would be correct to say that many of us, our minds are currently in a state of confusion, bewilderment, at a sudden huge onslaught upon our very, very basic tenets of our deen, upon the very, very basic tenets of our deen. We all are aware that there is currently a campaign called Pride, LGBT plus Q, etc. And this particular month of June has been affixed to propagate, promote, advertise, encourage, and make people very comfortable with the satanic ideology. No stone is being left unturned, no avenue is narrow or broad enough for people's minds and children's mind to start accepting that which is totally abnormal to be normal. How does the Sharia view this here? What does Islam got to say about this particular subject? That will be our topic for today, inshallah ta'ala, with the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are inshallah going to try our utmost in a very limited time that we have to look at this question from different angles. Genuinely, when we say with all frankness, that many are the people that are unaware of the huge implications of this particular matter which we are discussing. Some people feel, well, why call for a boycott? There are many people who commit sins. There are people who steal. Do you boycott them? There are people who abuse their wives. Do you boycott them? There are people that are drunk. Do you boycott them? There are people that hurt other people. Do you boycott them? So what is this big issue about boycotting a certain company that is trading in South Africa, and the name is Woolworths? Let's be open about it. Why call for a boycott? And then there are others, they offer their opinions, and they offer their views. So let's start from the beginning. We as Muslims, amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi. First thing in our iman is that we bring faith upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we speak bringing faith upon Allah ta'ala, we accept Allah ta'ala, and very important, all His commands and all His prohibitions, we acknowledge it, we abstain from that which is to be abstained, and we adhere to and we comply to that which is to be complied. You can't say, I believe in Allah, but I don't believe in performing 5 times salah. You are not a Muslim. You can't say, but I read a kalima, but you don't believe in performing the Hajj. You are not a Muslim. Anyone will tell you. So when people say, as long as you read La ilaha illallah, they must be very cautious. When you read La ilaha illallah, you have signed, you have pledged yourself to be the servant of Allah, and you have pledged yourself to have accepted Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his final messenger. People write documents and they write articles with lots of opinions. But that is not a fatwa. The Islamic ruling is altogether a different matter. You can quote the United Nations for all that you want to. You can quote the researchers and the people who are what they call experts in this particular field. You can quote them as much as you want to. It, at the end of the day, does not matter one bit to a pure, true, sincere Muslim. A Muslim's constitution is the Quran Kareem. You can't come and quote a constitution of a country or the Charter of the United Nations or the results of a researcher. First, when we want to solve an issue, we go first and foremost to the Kalam of Allah. For Allah Himself says, Inna hadal Quran yahdi lillati. Verily, amongst the reasons we have sent this Quran Kareem to you, this noble speech of ours, this awesome message of ours is to guide you. It's going to guide you. Yahdi lil mu'mineen. The Quran Kareem says, this is a kalam qayyiman liyundhira ba'san shadidam. No fault in it. There's no any such thing which is skew in it. The Quran Kareem is perfect in its guidance. Hudal lil muttaqeen. Hudal lil muttaqeen. Alif Lam min dhalikal kitabu. This is a kitab, la rayba fi. There's no doubt in it. It's a kitab of Allah. You are going to require guidance with regards to the LGBT movement, etc. Hudal lil muttaqin is going to guide you, but there's one condition. You have to be sincere. You have to be truthful. You have to want, you have to ache, you have to hurt, you have to search, till you come to a point that I want taqwa, I want to fear my Lord, I want to be alert about my Lord, what are His commands and what are His prohibitions. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, now move forward, alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb. You say you want taqwa, you want guidance. There's some other things also. Before we even carry on further, this Quran is meant for people who have faith in the unseen. We are going to tell you things that we have never seen. We are going to describe things that we have never thought about. We are going to explain to you what Jannah is, what the rewards are going to be if you are faithful, loyal, and you are obedient. We are going to tell you what's going to happen to you if you are disloyal and you are transgressing and you are traitor to Tawheed. Yu'minuna bil ghayb. Then this Quran Kareem will guide you. Otherwise, you can run around your whole life. You're not going to get any guidance. That which is the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala says, Qul innal huda hudallah. Having said this here, now we come to the Quran Kareem. It's amazing, really it's beyond amazing. An entire document prepared by certain organization with one small worded ayat. Very few words. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. That is the one ayat they give. The balance is all other Western researchers' views, etc. That is secondary. First we come to the Quran Kareem in order to attend to the matter which deserves a much more robust and vigorous explanation of what LGBT is all about. So we go to Allah's Kalam. We say, Ya Allah, how is this? What is the situation with regards to this current massive onslaught upon our ideals, upon our shame, upon our children, upon our deen, upon our akhirah, upon our morals, upon our character, upon our personalities? How do we understand it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, go, read the ayat, read the stories. وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ. You will find amongst the stories that concerns this particular vile act. You will find it in much detail in the life of Hazrat Lut alayhi salam. So now we go to the Quran Kareem. Let us see. Do you know what? In no less than 7 chapters of the Quran Kareem, out of the 114 chapters, the story of Lut alayhi salam has been described. And in much detail. You don't expect the ulama to give me one small sentence and then speak about, the Western culture and it's wrong. That is fine. But let us see the power and let us see the emphasis and let us see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala views this entire concept of homosexuality. First they used to say homosexuality, now they put it in nice words, LG, the G is for gay. Why they found the word homosexuality? This is not going to give acceptance to what we are doing, because we all understand there was a time about 2-3 decades ago where there was a sickness, a virus, or a situation where AIDS was very, very common and many, many people died. So people are going to get scared of that word homosexuality. Let us, the Satanists, calling the Satanists, let us now find another way to present that same horrible product, and they use the word LGBT. The story of Lut alayhi salam goes something like this here, that he was the nephew of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam had a brother by name of Haran, and Lut alayhi salam was his son. So Ibrahim alayhi salam and Lut alayhi salam enjoyed the uncle and nephew relationship. They were based in Palestine, the Palestine of today. Allah Ta'ala says, وَلُوطًا إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ يَتَأْتُونَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِهَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِّنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. We sent Lut alayhi salam as a messenger, and he told his people, do you commit such a terrible, shameful act of homosexuality that none in the universe, neither man nor jinn, had ever committed before you? Allahumma hafizna, Allahumma hafizna, Allahumma hafizna. Allah Ta'ala save us all, and save our progeny, and save our children who are going to schools and are being fed all these evil ideas that it's nothing, it's just a natural thing, like how somebody's got pride, we have to learn how to live with it. We have to know how to teach them to negotiate it. Nonsense. Nonsense. Islam does not teach you to negotiate pride. Islam teaches you to conquer pride. Islam does not teach you to negotiate your temper that is unrestrained. Islam teaches you to control it. If you have this type of an unnatural urge, then Islam teaches you to how to control that urge if it is there. Now many a times they make people feel that there is something that is happening, which in reality it's not happening. It's not happening. It's like a person who stands in front of the mirror, he sees a fly on the mirror, and he starts hitting his forehead and nose. See, what are you doing? He said, there's a fly on my nose. See, there's no fly on your nose, man. So they make the kids feel, there's something wrong with you. How do you feel this morning? Do you feel you have got a tendency to become a bit violent? No, you're a girl, but actually, you've got a tendency of a male. You have to look at remolding your entire orientation to which gender you belong. This is how they work. And out of nothing, they make something. Nothing, they make something out of it. So Lut alayhi salam, the one of the worst punishment that was going to befall any of the nations of before was for this particular action, which no one ever committed in the history, not only of man, but jinkind only. So it's not a matter of, why boycott Woolworths. There are so many other companies. See what they are doing. See what they are trying to do. See what the ultimate objective is. See where they are placing all those mannequins. See what all the colors are. And see the nature of the business. You're not going to a petrol garage to fill petrol, where your children are not exposed. You are not just going to a place where you go once in a while. You are going to a place which is known as one of the topmost family, the word is family stores in the entire country. When you walk in there, very seldom you're going alone. Husband will go, wife will go. And the saddest part is, the kids are going to go there. You have a better idea now why the store is being singled out. And whatever they are doing it in a very calculated manner. So Lut alayhi salam, he spoke to his people. A background to this particular issue here, 3 angels were dispatched by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The mission was first go to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. He was staying about 12 kilometers away from where Lut alayhi salam was in Palestine. Go there, he's our Nabi, our very special friend. Go and meet him and tell him of something that's of extreme importance. So these 3 angels in the form of handsome young men came to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam understood them just to be normal human beings. It was the way of entertaining guests at that particular time that anyone coming into a village, people would be compelled to offer them some food. There were no takeaways or facilities that we have today. So Ibrahim alayhi salam accordingly invited the 3 young men. He didn't know they were angels. He came to his house, sat down quickly, he went out, he took a small calf, he slaughtered it, and after slaughtering the calf, he got it roasted, and he brought it, and he offered it to his guests. فَلَمَّا رَأَى أَيْدِيَهُمْ لَا تَصِلُ إِلَيْهِ نَكِرَهُمْ وَأَوْجَسَ مِنْهُمْ خِيفَةً قَالُوا لَا تَخَفْ. When he offered him, he observed the hands are not stretching towards the food. فَلَمَّا رَأَى أَيْدِيَهُمْ لَا تَصِلُ إِلَيْهِ. He saw the hands they are not dishing out, they are not taking the food. What is wrong? And he got scared. This is very unusual. Travelers are normally very hungry. The travelers are tired. They want to eat. I've slaughtered a calf, taken the trouble to skin it, taken the trouble to roast it, and here they are just looking at one another and smiling and not saying anything. قَالُوا لَا تَخَفْ. They told me, oh Ibrahim, don't be scared. Don't be scared at all. إِنَّا أُرْسِلْنَا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِ لُوطٍ. They told him, do not fear. We have been sent to the nation of Lut. We are going to the nation of Lut. Lut is your nephew. Lut is now close to exhausting all his energies in order to bring his nation to their senses. But first we came to make salam to you because Allah Ta'ala sent us to you. And there's some good news for you. Oh, what's the good news for me? The good news is you are going to get a son. When they said this here, Lut alayhi salam's wife was standing somewhere behind, and the Quran Kareem says so beautifully, وَامْرَأَتُهُ قَائِمَةٌ فَضَحِكَتْ فَبَشَّرْنَاهَا بِإِسْحَاقَ وَمِنْ وَرَاءِ إِسْحَاقَ يَعْقُوبَ. His wife was standing there, and she heard she's going to get a child. She burst out laughing. ضَحِكَتْ. She laughed. How is it possible I'm going to get a son? I'm old. Malaika said, listen, don't worry. You are saying, Ana ajuzu wa hadha ba'li shaykha, I am barren, and here is my old man here. How are we going to get children? And you're not speaking about only one child. You say, I'm going to get a child, and I'm going to get another child, Ishaq, and I will get grandchildren, Yaqub will be also there one day. She was astonished. The angels told her, أَتَعْجَبِينَ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Don't be surprised at the command of your Lord. Rahmatullah. Allah's mercy and blessings be upon you. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu alaykum ahlal bayt. O people of this house, Allah's mercy is going to be on you. There will be children, there will be grandchildren. Don't worry. We are the angels of Allah. After a while, Ibrahim alayhi salam understood these are the angels. Fear dissipated, and then they told him further on, وَجَاءَتْهُ الْبُشْرَى يُجَادِلُنَا فِي قَوْمِ لُوطٍ. We are now going to Lut alayhi salam. Why are you going? We are going to destroy. We are going to annihilate. We are going to smash to smithereens that horrible nation of Lut. That they resorted to something that is so abnormal that no one ever in the universe had done such a thing. We are off to them. We all know Ibrahim alayhi salam was very compassionate, very, very repentant, intolerant. And Ibrahim alayhi salam said, you know what, perhaps give them a chance. Yujadiluna fi qawmi Lut. He started arguing with the angels. Give them a bit more chance. Inna Ibrahim lahalimun awwahum munib. Allah Ta'ala praises Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was very tolerant, but the time had now come for the punishment, the divine punishment to be meted out. Thus it was told to him, O Ibrahim, refrain from debating. Don't debate with us. Don't debate with us. Don't ask for any respite for them. Don't ask us to delay the punishment. Give them one more chance. Don't do that. Ya Ibrahim a'rid an hadha innahu qad jaa'a amru rabbik. Verily, no doubt the command of your Rabb has come, and it shall take place. وَإِنَّهُمْ آتِيهِمْ عَذَابٌ غَيْرُ مَرْدُودٌ. There surely has come to them a punishment that cannot ever be turned away. It's finished. Finished. End of the story with the Qawm of Lut. Nothing is going to reverse the command of Allah. Nothing is going to claw back the decision of Allah. Oh people, wallah, let us be afraid when we listen to this ayat. This is the message of Allah to us. If you are going to get involved in things like LGBT, or you are going to support it passively, directly or indirectly, or you are not going to be in any way revolted by this here, when the hukm of Allah comes, it's going to play its course right till the end. So now they came to Lut alayhi salam. They left Ibrahim alayhi salam, traveled, came to the outskirts of the town where Lut alayhi salam was. It was a young girl drawing water from the well, and after greeting her, he said, is there any place where we can live? We can stay for the night. Now Allah Ta'ala uses means. Allah Ta'ala could have told the angels straight away, go and just destroy them. But Allah Ta'ala wants to show us that there's a system in place. Whenever the adhab of Allah comes, there is things that are going to happen, and everything will have a particular reason. There's wisdom between every single thing. Lut alayhi salam had 2 daughters. When that daughter saw these 3 youngsters, she ran home. She said, oh father, there are 3 guests. They're on the outskirts of the town. Oh my beloved father, they are so extremely handsome. There are no people like that in existence. Why she said this to her father? Because she could foresee the problem that was going to come. She was intelligent enough to understand my father is going to have a very, very, very difficult day and time. Lut alayhi salam hastened to the outskirts. Allah, Allah. What was the condition of his heart? He is torn between fear. He is torn between upholding the rights of a guest. He is torn between that which he understood, I am not going to have any control ultimately upon. Comes to this youngsters. Salaam alaikum salam. Old man. He passed away at the age of 175. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. He told him, listen here. They are here now. The Quran Sharif says so beautifully, وَلَمَّا جَاءَتْ رُسُلُنَا لُوطًا سِيَّ بِهِمْ وَضَاقَ بِهِمْ ذَرْعًا وَقَالَ هَذَا يَوْمٌ عَصِيبٌ. When our angels came to Lut alayhi salam, he became distressed because of their presence. He was worried. This nation of mine. There was only one house that had Muslims. It was the house of Lut alayhi salam. 4 towns were involved in this evil crime, consisting of approximately a total of 4,000 people. He's all alone. What am I going to do? And the Quran Sharif says, when you have a problem and you clutch your chest and people say, hey, you know what? Don't get a heart attack. Just be cautious. Take it easy. Lut alayhi salam, the Quran Kareem says, وَضَاقَ بِإِسْلُوطًا سِيَّ بِهِمْ وَضَاقَ بِهِمْ. His heart tightened because the angels appeared as young men. Lut alayhi salam feared that his people would come to try and commit haram with them, sodomy with them. So he was distressed and his heart tightened. And he said, هَذَا يَوْمٌ عَصِيبٌ. This is a very difficult day. What was so difficult? That you are my guest. Where are you going to go? This nation of mine is rotten till the core. And I say it, this nation of South Africa and the nations of the kuffar are rotten beyond the core. America, whom people love so much, they can't find anything wrong. I don't say it a non-Muslim. A non-Muslim mentioned the greatest terrorists on the surface of this earth are the Americans. Why? Because of 2 things. Number 1, the Supreme Court, meaning no one can ever overrule the Supreme Court. They passed a judgment, a verdict. Abortion is legal. What's abortion? When a mother expects, kill that baby. Kill it, finish. Don't worry. Millions and millions of innocent babies in their mother's stomachs are being destroyed and being killed daily, monthly, yearly, millions of them collectively. What did that unborn child, what was the unborn child's crime? What did that unborn innocent child do that it had been brutally murdered by its own parents? And who gave permission? The American government system. One act of terrorism. And worse, they've passed a verdict. Same sex, same gender can marry one another. Nothing wrong. Woman can marry another woman, a man can marry another man. Nothing wrong in their eyes. Nothing. Until when are we going to follow the culture of the kuffar and worship their ways? Nothing wrong. They've destroyed humanity. So coming back, Lut alayhi salam understood, my rotten nation won't leave these 3 youngsters. So he told him, let's just wait a little. If I'm going to take you right now into my home, they are going to see. And then it can be problematic. Let the sun set, let darkness come. I can somehow or the other get you into my home and give you some sanctuary. Accordingly, he secretly brought them into his home, closed the door. Allah Ta'ala save us. What tests and trials do the Anbiya not undergo? What tests and trials? The enemy was beyond the door was there. Lut alayhi salam knew. All of them are there. There was an enemy in the house. His wife. His own wife. She condoned the evil acts against which her husband was preaching day in, day out. For more than 100 years, Lut alayhi salam went from person to person, leave this act, man, just leave it, let go of it, leave it, let go of it. He never succeeded in changing the ways of any of those outsiders. The wife peeped and she saw, and she said, oh. From the back door she slipped out, rushed to the people, do you know what? Do you know what? 3 handsome, very handsome, beautiful youngsters, they're here, right by our house. Oh ladies, think carefully. Oh men, think carefully. What is the husband doing? What is the wife doing against her own husband? Can you imagine the sabr that Lut alayhi salam had? Out of the house, he's been confronted on a daily basis, hourly basis. When he comes into the house, his wife is there. His wife is there. And so started the fun. You see the fun, 28th of June, they're having a Pride Day here in South Africa. They're going to take out a lot of festival, they're going to take out processions, floats, depicting and promoting LGBT. They're doing it in Woolworths on such a scale where elsewhere it's not being done on that scale. It's a family store, I'd mentioned. If you can't find hurt in your heart, if you can't find that one ache in your heart, my child, I will never expose you to this here. Never ever. I can die rather. But I've got enough shame as a mother, shame as a father, to say I make you walk past 2 mannequin women embracing each other without clothing, all colored in LGBT. I'll never allow you to set sight on it. I can die rather, out of shame. So, the mentality, the mob mentality set in. The wife brought the news. 100% verified. It's not some outsider saying this here. There the mob came. You must have seen mob, clapping hands, whistling, singing, high-fiving one another. They come to the simple home of the Nabi of Allah. Lut alayhi salam can hear them appearing, coming closer and closer. Quran Kareem says, وَجَاءَهُ قَوْمُهُ يُهْرَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ وَجَاءَ قَوْمُهُ يُهْرَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ. His people came running towards him, happily clapping hands. We are here. Oh no! وَمِنْ قَبْلُ كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. Before this year, they were involved in all these things which were so haram. They were at the door, banging at the door. Open the door. Lut alayhi salam is this side of the door. And he gives him a little bayan. He says, قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ, O my people, هَؤُلَاءِ بَنَاتِي هُنَّ أَطْهَرُ لَكُمْ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُخْزُونِ فِي ضَيْفِي أَلَيْسَ مِنْكُمْ رَجُلٌ رَشِيدٌ. See here, you've got your desires to fulfill. There are some girls around, unmarried. Get married to them. Fulfill your lust, get done. But don't do what you want to do. Don't disgrace me. Wala tukhzuni. Don't disgrace me. These are my guests. Alaysa minkum Rajulur Rashid. He said, even one, just one amongst you. Can't anyone understand it? Explain to the others. They resorted to it. قالوا لقد علمت ما لنا في بناتك من حق. Listen here. You know exactly. We don't have any interest in your daughters. Now here the daughters are, it is mentioned, either his own daughters or there's another narration. He meant the daughters of his nation. Many of them had accepted Islam. The males wouldn't accept Islam, but the girls would accept Islam. So they're telling him, listen here, we don't want to hear anything about it. Come on, leave all this there, man. You know, إِنَّكَ لَتَعْلَمُ مَا نُرِيدُ. You know what our intention is, man. The intention, you know what we want. Poor Lut. لَوْ أَنَّ لِي بِكُمْ قُوَّةً أَوْ إِلَىٰ رُكْنٍ شَدِيدٍ. If I only had some strength to fight you people, or I could seek protection from a powerful tribe. If somebody can help me, no one is with me. After this, Nabi took out these words came from his Mubarak tongue. I've got no helper. Allah Ta'ala made it. Every Nabi thereafter, there would be somebody to aid him from his tribe. Even Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from his tribe, there was somebody to aid him. Lut was the last one to say that there is absolutely now no one. It is then that the angel spoke up. When he saw how desperate Nuh is, they told him, قالوا لا توجل إنا نبشرك بغلام عليم. After this verse that was recited, when it came to Lut alayhi salatu wasalam, that was to Ibrahim alayhi salam, they told him, oh Lut, listen here. We are the messengers of Allah. The time has now come for your nation to be punished. Now what you are going to do is this here. At the end, just when a little of the night, part of the night is left, you go out from this town. وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ ذَلِكَ الْأَمْرَ. You go out of this town. You be right at the back. You just move. We will punish them. Lut alayhi salam said, at the last end of the night, there's still time. He's panicking. They're going to break the door. And they are banging the door, and the next thing, the Malaika made their appearance to the crowd and said, listen, we are angels, we've come to punish you. And in one riwayat is mentioned that the angel lifted his wing and directed it in the direction of those people who came to abuse. With the intention of abusing. When he lifted, that angel lifted that wing, the people became blind and they started running, screaming. They started running, screaming, I'm blind, I can't see, I'm blind, I can't see. For what? For whatever is being propagated to you and your children and me and my children, that listen here, this has to be accepted and we have to learn now how to emphasize and get them treatment, this treatment and that treatment. What are you coming with treatment? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Rahmatul lil Alamin. Do you know what he says? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam says in one hadith. He says, Man wajadtumuhu ya'amalu amala qawmi lutin faqtulul fa'ila wal maf'ulu bih. Whoever you find doing the action of the people of Lut, kill the one who does it and the one to whom it is done. Kill him. Both of them. Remove them from the surface of the earth. Destroyed him. In another hadith, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what I fear most for of my ummah is the behavior of the people of Lut. You mustn't behave like the people of Lut. Go see what the children are talking about. Go see what your young sons are talking about. Go see what the girls are talking about. May Allah save us. Save our iman. Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that those people who do the action of loot, what must be done to them? Stone them both. Stone the one, the upper one and the lower one. Take stones and throw it at them. Crush them, kill them, destroy them, break their bones. This is the instruction of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Today they want to make it, it's very normal. It's nothing, man. You know, we know our Iman, we know we don't believe in it. But they don't want to speak out. They don't want to inform the Ummah of the severe repercussions that can befall each and every one of us. So accordingly, Lut alayhi salam asked, can't it be a bit quicker? He said, Alaysa subhu bi qareem. Morning is just coming. It's any time now. Just wait. Lut alayhi salam set out, but they told him before, listen Lut, we are telling you before, your wife is going to be punished. No one can change the verdict of Allah. Tell everyone not to look behind, but your wife, she's going to be punished. She condoned it, she supported it, she assisted them, so she is included in this entire punishment. The night passed, some of the other late at night, Lut alayhi salam with a few people went out of the house, traveled a distance, and what did the three malaika do? You see a cake perhaps, easy way. You carve out. From the base, just above the base, you carve out a nice big piece. They carve out the base of the villages, that 4 villages. They carved it out nicely. They lifted it up. It comes in hadith in such a manner, if there was a glass, a vessel containing water, it wouldn't drop. They picked them up very nicely. And the next thing, they turned the entire villages upside down. They came down crashing, destroyed. Not only that, وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ مَطَرًا وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ مَطَرًا. It was not the end, just smashed them. They fell from the skies, they dead already. Stones, pebbles, brimstone. Each one had a name written on it. Each one, مُسَوَّمَةً عِنَّ رَبِّكَ. Each one had a name written on it. That stone came and knocked that guy. It hit the person whose name was written on it. Then fire came. فَسَا مَطَرُ الْمُنذِرِينَ. Here Nuh alayhi salam heard a shriek. The malaika scream out. They scream out when they punished him. Like how a father tells his children, no, I'll give you a hiding. They scream out at these people. Die. Be destroyed. Allah gave you wives. Allah Ta'ala created women. مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِهَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. The Nabi has been running for more than 100 years trying to convince you, but you don't want to listen. Just as that shriek was taken out, Lut alayhi salam's wife turned. And when she turned into a pillar. Punishment also came. I conclude with this here. This is just half the talk, but Allah's fadl, alhamdulillah. There is no scope for a lenient explanation and being somewhat even apologetic about LGBT. There's nothing like that. Absolutely nothing. It is a perverse culture. It's got no place in the human race. You can't even go and see what is happening there. You can't go in the shadow of the place where these things are promoted. May Allah save everyone's iman and grant us all hidayat and tawfiq. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillah.